Okay, so I'm in the studio and I've got the Evolution's 3-axis gimbal and the GoPro Hero 6, and I'm going to start to do some test shots of the model. I don't know if you can tell, great thing that Lee's got is this steel deck table, and when you get it, it comes with legs either in 4 foot or 2 foot. So at the moment for this, much better that it's slightly lower down for us. Otherwise we're kind of up here somewhere, not really seeing what we're doing. And it gives us some more room in the studio as well. The Evolution gimbal, as mentioned before, has kind of 3 settings in terms of how it's turning either these motors on or off. When you turn it on for the first time, so you press the on and off button, hold it down, the light comes on, and then you press and hold the joystick for about 3 seconds. You can kind of feel it engaging. The first mode it's in is follow mode, and that means the pan kind of axis motor is operational and these other 2 are kind of switched off. So as I'm kind of turning and moving, it's still kind of, the camera's a bit of drag, but it's still kind of keeping you center of frame. If I press it again for 2 seconds, this is in follow mode, so now all of these, all of them are engaged. I think that's a bit more advanced. And then the last one, you press and hold for a second, is lock, and that's basically disengaging all the motors with it. One of the reasons we're excited to use the GoPro Hero 6 is that this camera, compared to the other models, shoots in 25 frames, which is what we were shooting the live action footage with Peter in the studio on the Arri Alexa. They have several field of views, the GoPros. I think it's like fisheye, super wide and linear. We're in linear because the perspective is closer to kind of what we see. GoPros are kind of known for their super wide shots and the kind of bending lines or converging lines. In our kind of narrow tunnel, that's going to be problematic. So that's why we're on linear. That kind of limits us to the resolution. We're still going for the highest possible, which is 2.7. It's a bit annoying. Ideally, you'd shoot 4K, especially for effects work, because that will give them in post the ability to kind of shift the frame up and shift the frame down. And they can also kind of zoom in up to 50% to kind of better match the shots. But 2.7s, you know, will still give them some leeway. Other points to mention, we've kind of got the Pro Tune switched on. That gives us better control over the white balance, the color space and the ISO. The color space we have set to flat, because again, that's going to give them kind of more options when they come to grade it and edit it into the final piece. So the first mode we're going to test the gimbal in is follow mode. Also, I had to kind of put it in this mode first to kind of flip the camera around this way. Before, when we were holding it upright, this camera spins around and you actually kind of got that motor constantly in shot. It was just through playing, because we're kind of underslinging it like this. It was just through playing through the modes that we found out if you got it into follow mode, it kind of flips and stays the camera looking this way as opposed to looking that way and getting that motor in shot. So anyway, this is our first test in follow mode. Okay, so I'm going to take it out of the follow mode and put it into lock mode. So it's just double tapping the joystick button. So lovely and light, the camera and the gimbal. I mean, just kind of 2 fingers there. It appears to be very steady on the monitor on the back of the camera. Yeah, and just ideally what we need. I mean, you can see how easy it is to kind of achieve that shot. And the last one we're going to test is the pan mode. I just press the joystick button once for that, and that's turned off all the motors apart from the pan. The reason we're testing it in the different modes, as you can see, there's definitely this curved section here of the mine. There's also a much bigger and more complicated kind of corkscrew tunnel and it's just shooting which is going to give us the most comfortable natural movement as it turns. Okay, so that's me done, relatively easy. I now hand that footage to Alpa, who's going to drop it in to the scenes we've shot with Peter, and hopefully this is going to be a perfect match, or it's certainly going to be good enough. And this tiny camera and this gimbal will be how we shoot the majority of the mine sequence.